Hello everybody, this is Dragonzilla here, and for today's/tonight's review, I will be talking about a figure that I got for my 32nd birthday, and that would be the Mojo Woolly Rhinoceros Coelodonta. And because Christmas is just around the corner, I thought that it would be appropriate to cover an Ice Age animal. Now the Woolly Rhino, although not as iconic as the Woolly Mammoth, is still a recognisable mammal from the Ice Age. It lived during the Pleistocene epoch, about 50,000 years ago, so this megafauna arrived on the scene much later, unlike the mammoth that had been around for millions of years. Its region was Europe, Siberia, and I believe it also lived in Tibet. Well, it was either Coelodonta itself, or its larger cousin Elasmotherium. However, sadly, the last of the woolly rhinos died out 10,000 years ago, but frozen specimens have been found in the permafrost, and I think I heard somewhere that some carcasses have been discovered with DNA intact, so who knows, maybe one day, like with the woolly mammoth, the woolly rhino may someday return. Onto the model itself. Now this has got to be a perfect figure of Coelodonta, and the model makes me feel very nostalgic, as this was the depiction of the woolly rhino that I would often see in literature. His legs are kind of stocky, but I think rhinos' legs need to be like that in order to charge down opponents and rivals, and also to scare away predators. Like mammoths, he has a hub for storage. This would help to keep the rhino warm, and he would be the woolly rhino without his huge horn, which is actually a lot longer than a modern-day rhino's horn, something that I didn't know until doing some research. I found out that Coelodonta's horn was a lot larger, and this was to help clear away the snow while searching for vegetation. I also like the woolly rhino's facial expression, looking very calm and optimistic, possibly admiring the view, and I think Coelodonta would have been a calm animal, but could also be a timid one because it didn't have the best eyesight in the world. The horn itself appears to be an ivory white colour. Most depictions show the horn to be the same colour as the rest of the animal, but I think there are some where it stands out. And speaking of which, I'm also a fan of the paint job, which is mostly dark brown with some highlights that are a mixture of tan brown and bits of black. Let's now talk about the woolly rhino's appearances in media. Not a lot come to mind, but it has had a fair few amounts of screen time, usually as a supporting role. It's most famous for starring in Walking with Beasts, episode 6 Mammoth Journey, where he charged down a Neanderthal. It has also been featured in Ice Age Giants, Discovery Channel's Land of the Mammoth, forgive me for the bad quality on the screenshot, Mammoth Titan of the Ice Age, Journey to the Beginning of Time, what appears to be either an episode of Futurama or Disenchanted, Out of the Cradle, and also in an episode of La Brea. So yeah, as far as I'm aware, Coelodonta has mostly showed up in documentaries, a couple of TV shows, and only one film. Heck, it didn't even turn up in any of the Blue Sky Ice Age movies. Which, to be fair, most of the animals that are in that series are of North American variety, while the woolly rhino was a European giant. Which does make sense, as it would have looked out of place with all the Americans. Even though, ironically, the dodo was featured in the first movie, and we all know that the dodo was native to the island of Mauritius, not North America, and to make things even more ironic, the first film has two rhino-like animals, a Megacerops and Embolotherium, as they're now called, apparently. And they evolved in the Eocene epoch, not the Pleistocene. Megacerops and Embolotherium get to be in Ice Age, and not Coelodonta? I know it's only a cartoon, but seriously, what the f***? Anyway, I'm digressing. If the woolly rhino has appeared anywhere else in media, documentary, TV show or movie, then just let me know in the comments, and should I cover the Papo woolly rhino, then I'll address it next time. And speaking of which, time now to do some size comparisons. So here is the Mojo woolly rhino with the Papo woolly rhino, which looks nice. Here he is with two other Ice Age animals, also from Papo, that it would have shared the landscape with, those being the cave bear and Megaloceros. The icon of the Ice Age itself, the woolly mammoth from Schleich. And here he is with the Eofauna Scientific Research, Steppe Mammoth and Paleoloxodon, which have been reviewed on the channel before, links in the description below. So final thoughts on the Mojo Woolly Rhinoceros Coelodonta. While I do like the Papo model, I gotta say that I actually like this one a lot more. And because Coelodonta is my third favourite Ice Age animal, this is truly a figure that I would have loved to have owned as a child. There is a good majority of woolly rhino models out there on the market, despite the fact that they're outnumbered by woolly mammoth figures. However, if I were to recommend a decent woolly rhino figure, then that would be Mojo's. Also, this figure was ordered off everythingdinosaur.com. I meant to show off the fact sheet in the birthday haul video, but I forgot. This is Dragonzilla signing out. Take care, and I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Bye for now.